Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So we often talk about our favorite fragrances, favorite designer, favorite niche, favorite summer fragrances, favorite vanilla fragrances. But I am sure that all of us have fragrances in our collection that are not favorites, or maybe they are favorites, but we're just not using them for whatever reason. That's what today's video is going to be about. I'm going to share with you fragrances that are currently least used fragrances in my collection. And they're not necessarily not favorite, it's just for whatever reason, which I will mention in the video, I'm not using them or I haven't been using them in a while. I think I have 10 fragrances, we'll see. So let's get started. The first one is Truth or Dare Naked from Madonna. I know many people speak very highly about this fragrance and it is discontinued and somewhat challenging to find. And it is, typically it is not expensive, although I know some people on eBay charge crazy money for it, which I don't think it's worth. But it is a highly regarded fragrance. It came out in 2012. I think it was one of only two that Madonna ever made. And this has honeysuckle, peach blossom, neroli, lily of the valley, cedar, sandalwood, vanilla, orchid, benzoin, and cacao. And it is sweet, not too sweet, just slightly sweet, slightly powdery, slightly woody. It is a very boozy type of scent. Like it smells boozy to me. Not sure what makes it smell that, but it's a boozy, sweet fragrance. Now, I've really tried to love this fragrance, but I haven't fallen in love with it yet, and that's why I haven't been using it. And typically, fragrances that I'm not using or I'm not loving, I don't keep in my collection. I pass them on to others who will hopefully enjoy them. But for some reason, I'm being extremely stubborn with this one. I'm not ready to part ways with it. For some reason, I'm really challenging myself to start using it more, start experimenting with it more, and hopefully to start liking it more. I'm not sure why. It's probably the only fragrance like that in my collection. Typically, if I don't like it, I don't like it. It's no big deal. There are lots of other fragrances that I love, but for some reason, this one I'm not ready to part ways with, but I'm also not loving it and I'm not reaching for it, but I'm willing to spend more time with it to see if I'm going to fall in love with it. So yeah, that's the reason I have this fragrance, but I'm not really reaching for it. Second one that I'm going to mention is Organza from Givenchy. And you can see that my bottle is almost full, and you can also probably see that I've had this bottle for a long time because the juice is very dark. I think typically it is much lighter than this. This is a very old-fashioned kind of fragrance. I don't think many talk about it these days. And it has a lot of notes. Let me go through them quickly, as was sort of, I think, the case in those, I don't know when it came out, in 90s, I think. Fragrances consisted of a large variety of notes. So there is bergamot, neroli, gardenia, green notes, nutmeg, mace, honeysuckle, peony, tuberose, ylang-ylang, jasmine, iris, walnut, amber, guacwood, and vanilla. Oh my God, so many. This has, yeah, very outdated, old-fashioned smell. It is powdery, kind of nutty, definitely some white florals in here, definitely some spices, but yeah, powdery, slightly sweet, slightly woody. You can feel that there's a lot of notes in this, but overall I don't enjoy it. So why do I have it? Well, if you've seen some of my videos before, this was the very first present that my husband gave to me when we started dating, so it holds sentimental value for me, and that's why I keep it, and I think I will always keep it. But I'm not using it. You know, you can see how much has been used up, and that was years ago when I first got it, and I was trying to use it to make me feel better. But I honestly never liked it. But you never know, tastes change, so maybe one day I'm going to like it. But anyway, it is staying in my collection, but I'm definitely not reaching for it. Next one, and I'm going to show sort of a 2-for-1 here because I think they're very similar and have the same idea. These are two fragrances from Ariana Grande. This is, I think, Ari, and this is Sweet Like Candy. And so Ari has the notes of pear, pink grapefruit, raspberry, rose, vanilla, orchid, marshmallow, musk, and blonde woods. And Sweet Like Candy is blackberry, Italian, bergamot, pear, jasmine, frangipani, honeysuckle, vanilla, marshmallow. So you can see some notes are the same, some notes are different, but really I find these two very similar. Sweet, candy, marshmallowy kind of fragrances, you know, with slight differences, but sort of very similar. And although I love sweet gourmand fragrances, I find these ones just a little bit generic with pretty poor lasting power. So that's why I'm not reaching for them. I have to admit that I love the packaging. It's kind of cute. I mean, they had the little pom-poms here, which I took off because they were annoying me and making it difficult to spray the scents. But without the pom-poms, I kind of love the packaging. But unfortunately, I'm not really reaching for this. Next is something from the house of Gucci, and that's Gucci Premier, and I believe this is the EDT version. So this has bergamot, orange blossom, rose, freesia, jasmine, musk, patchouli, leather, champagne, and woody notes. And this does smell like champagne. I think that's what it smells like. I haven't smelled it in a while. Yeah. It is sparkly, bubbly champagne. That's what it smells like. I really enjoy the scent. So I'm really not sure why I'm not reaching for this one, but I haven't reached for this one in months. Maybe I used it once in the last 3 months or so. So that's why it's on this list, but it's a lovely, lovely champagne-y, fresh kind of scent. So I like it, but for some reason, I'm not reaching for it right now. Another scent that I really, really love, and I thought I would be wearing so much more this spring and summer, and I kind of worn it a little bit at the beginning of the spring, and then I forgot about it and haven't reached for it in a while. And that's from the house of YSL. This is Mon Paris Couture. So this one has the notes of bergamot, raspberry, lychee, rose, grapefruit, mandarin orange, orange blossom, musk, peony, patchouli, and cashmeran. And this is a fruity, floral, musky, beautiful, sweet fragrance, very girly, very feminine, very easygoing. I really, really enjoyed this scent. I remember when I tried it the first time, I really fell in love with it and just had to have the full bottle. And I still really love it, but for some reason, there are other fragrances that I'm reaching for more than this one, but I definitely love it. I think it's a lovely scent, and hopefully it will get more love. I think one of the reasons I've decided to do this video is to really go through my collection and find those scents that I haven't been reaching for, to hopefully, you know, remember about them and show them more love in the future. So I'm hoping this will be one of the scents that I will start reaching for more often. Next one is, let me find it. And I think this is a 20 or 25, 20 ml bottle. This is Manifesto Elixir. So this is from the Manifesto line, but this is sort of the heavier version of the original Manifesto. And although I really like it, it's very sweet. The notes in here are bergamot, mandarin, jasmine, heliotrope, tuberose, vanilla, cashmeran, and abroxan. I don't have vanilla listed. No, I do have vanilla. Yeah, it is a sweet vanilla, slightly woody smell, but I have the Manifesto Elixir, which I prefer so much more than this one. I find the sweetness in this one just a little bit too much. There is something in this sweetness, although I still like it, but especially initially when I spray, there's something that bothers me in this sweetness, something that I find a little bit too heavy or too heady. And that's why I haven't been using it all that much. So I really prefer the Elixir version, but I'm hoping that when it gets colder in the winter, I will be reaching for this one again. Next one is from the house of Mugler. This is called Innocent Rock. I showed this one in one of my hauls, and I mentioned then that I can't tell you much about this fragrance because I haven't tried it yet. And I will be honest with you, I still haven't worn it. I don't know why, because I'm really a fan of this house, and I think this is an interesting example from their house. The scent itself is pretty simple. It has bergamot, lychee, rose, patchouli, and incense. And yeah, it's rose with patchouli and lychee and a little bit of freshness from bergamot. It's sort of a slightly sour rose. The patchouli in here is not as strong as in most angel fragrances from Mugler. So it sounds nice, it smells nice, but I haven't worn it yet. So hopefully now that I've reminded myself about that, I'm going to start wearing it more. And I think we're left with two. So one of them is from Berdoues 1902 line, and this is Figue Blanche. This is a fig fragrance, so it has bergamot, ylang ylang, fig, peach, jasmine, cedar, musk, and vanilla. And this is a slightly creamy, milky vanilla, a little bit fresh, a tiny bit sweet. And I've mentioned in one of my videos that I really like using this as either a room spray or kind of a bedtime scent or a refresher after a shower. And I've mentioned several fragrances in that category, and for some reason I'm reaching more for those fragrances than this one. For some reason I've barely reached for this one, so that's why it is in this category, but I still think it's a lovely scent and I still like it. And the last one I'm gonna mention is a scent that I really like, and I have a small spray here. This is from Killian, and it has a long name. Let's just go with the short version. It's called After Sunset. This is the Killian line that's sold at Sephora. So the notes in here are blackcurrant, green notes, rose, lychee, musk, and patchouli. And this is a beautiful, fresh sort of blackcurrant with a little bit of musk and a little bit of sweetness, and I really like the scent. The thing is, when I feel like wearing a blackcurrant type of scent, I typically reach for Meliora from Parfums de Marly. Although these scents are different, I can't say they're in no way dupes, but they sort of give me a similar feeling. And I'm just reaching for Meliora a lot more than I'm reaching for this one, which is a shame because this is a beautiful scent. So again, I'm hoping that by reminding myself about this one in this video, I'm going to start using it a lot more. So there you go. There's the list of fragrances that I am not reaching for lately and I'm not using, and hopefully they will be getting more love in the future. Let me know in the comments below, do you have any fragrances that you haven't reached for in a while, and why are you not reaching for them? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.